These are not glorified prison stories, man. These are lived experiences. Welcome to the Swing Low Podcast Show, Do Rock Creek. Now, look, I wanted to bring this little situation that took place a few days ago to the round table. You know what I'm saying? Because I wanted y'all to understand that even as responsible grown adults, sometimes we do have a lack of judgment in certain situations that may go on in our life. You know what I'm saying? Nobody is perfect, not even those of us that has been through many different experiences throughout our journey, whether we're in prison or whether we're on the streets. You know what I'm saying? Nobody is perfect, but it's definitely all about how you bounce back from having a lapse of judgment. You know what I mean? And y'all will understand what I mean by that as I go into this story. Okay, so a few days ago, we're getting ready to go out for breakfast. You know what I'm saying? And for whatever reason, I guess these people was trying to rush, through what they was doing. And they forgot to let out probably a good 50 to 60 people to eat. You know what I'm saying? Now, mind you, it's 200 people per building. You know what I'm saying? So out of that 200, they forgot to feed like 50 to 60 people, right? Include myself. So when this happened, everybody now we're all inside our cell. We're locked inside our cell and we're waiting for them to open up the door to go out and eat. So which means we're all standing there watching these people leave out the building with all the food and stuff, right? So everybody get to screaming out their cell that didn't eat, like, hey, what's going on? What's going on? Why, right? Including me. So bam, I felt like I probably had a better chance because where I'm at was closer to where the people was getting ready to leave out the building, right? So bam, as I done so, like everybody else, now it's probably 10 police standing around in the building at this time when this is going on, but it's probably 4 to 5 of them that's standing real close, and they're standing like closer to where I'm at inside my cell, right? So it was this one particular female, right, that for whatever reason lasered directly in on me. And she said some crazy stuff. She called me out my name and said a whole bunch of other crazy stuff, right? Now, mind you, when we're trying to get these people attention, you know what I'm saying, because they forgot to feed us, I wasn't talking to her. You know what I'm saying? I'm trying to get the people that feed us attention. Said nothing to her or none of her co-workers or none of that, right? So, like I said, she laser in on me, say what she say. I don't respond to it, right? So when they finally come back in, realize, oh, we forgot all these people. They come back in with all the food and all that stuff, right? Bam, they finally start letting us out. Now, I have to say this. A good 90% of the food that they feed us, I don't even eat because a lot of the food is contaminated. You got rats and roaches that be in the food or running around the food. You know what I'm saying? The kitchen is infested with rats and roaches, man. I remember going out one time. This happened like a couple of years back. And I went out to grab a lunch out there because they have like a milk crate full of lunches. They put all your lunch inside these brown bags, and they set all the lunches inside these milk crates. So when you go out to grab your tray, the crate is like sitting right next to where you grab your tray at. So I went to go reach and grab a lunch out the crate, and a big old rat jumped out the stack of lunches right there and ran across the floor. So all the police that's in there, all of us, everybody looking like, what the hell? Ran right across, jumped out that crate that I was getting ready to grab that lunch out of and ran across the floor. So from that point on, like I was cool on that food. Plus all the dudes that work in the kitchen was getting sick from cooking and eating inside the kitchen, right? Disgusting, inhumane type shit. Okay. So anyway, I had no intentions on eating that food the other day. But I wanted to go out and greet my homeboys like I always do every morning. Regardless if I'm going to eat the food or not, I got a right to go out and grab that and eat it or not. You know what I'm saying? So I wanted to go out and greet my homies. I had no intentions on eating the food. It was just the principle. You know what I'm saying? So anyway, when they let us out, we have to walk by where this female that called me out my name and started talking shit to me, right? They're standing right here in this particular area. Her and, like I said, probably three other COs that's standing with her. And there was another little female that was standing with her. Now, and I also have to point this out, and it really, I don't want to make this story about race because it don't necessarily have nothing to do with that. Although I feel like a lot of these people, you know, probably don't come from a background or an environment where they had too many encounters with blacks. The most encounters that they had with any people of color is being working in the prison. You know what I'm saying? And I'm pretty sure you have some areas where it's highly black populated, where it's not a lot of Hispanics or any at all, where they don't have that many experiences with the Hispanic culture, right? So I don't want to make it about race. However, all these police was Hispanic. You know what I'm saying? So anyway, when me and my homies go to walk by him, the other female that's standing with the one that was talking shit to me, she got this coldest, craziest look on her face, like mean mugging me, like just staring at me with the coldest look on her face of disgust, right? So I notice it. I try to keep going. I look back again and she's like, "Are you all right?" But it wasn't a question of concern. You know what I'm saying? It was an attempt to throw gas that was already on fire. You know what I'm saying? So I ignored it. Keep going. Go grab my tray. We get ready now. We got to walk right back by him. So when we get ready to walk back by him, now it ain't just her. It's all of them that's standing there in that little area, mean mugging me. Right? So I stop and I address the situation. Now, when I say lapse of judgment, that was my mistake. Even entertaining it. However, you know what I'm saying? I am a man of pride. I pride myself on the respect that I give to others because I want that same respect in return. If I give you disrespect, then I expect that disrespect in return. Point blank, period. So I stopped and, of course, I entertained it. And that was my mess up right there. So that's why I say ain't nobody perfect, man. We have lapse of judgment. You know what I'm saying? But part of growth as a man or a woman, if given the opportunity to rectify something about yourself, I highly suggest you allow yourself to be corrected. You know what I'm saying? So anyway, when I stop and I address, the staring and all that, the one female that started barking on me when I was inside my cell, oh, she went off. Get the fuck out of here. Woo, 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 right? And that set me off. And I entertained it and I went there with her. Right? So none of the other ones that's with her, or it was, like I said, altogether it was probably like 10 of them standing out there. But it was these 4 over here in this particular area, right? Where the incident was going on between me and them. And the other ones, they wasn't saying nothing. They looking, but they not saying nothing. And then the ones that's standing with her, they not saying nothing. It's just that one, right? With the super duper smart ass mouth. You know what I'm saying? Hey, man, I have to say this to you ladies, right? Because I know all women are not the same, right? But however, man, whether you in a work environment or in your real life, I got to suggest to y'all not to bark on a man like you're a man. Because that can get you hurt. If it's somebody that don't care about putting their hands on a woman, I'm not with putting my hands on no woman. However, if you have somebody that's intent on not just barking on you, you know what I'm saying, but calling you out for a fight, for a fist fight at that, which this lady did. So anyway, while she's barking, we going back and forth, right? So I'm looking at the situation like this little broad, she just running her mouth, right? So I'm still walking, but I'm still entertaining her, right? So I'm asking, what you gonna do, man? What you gonna do? What you gonna do, right? So while I'm saying that, I'm still walking and I'm kind of like laughing about the situation because it's a trip that I have this female barking on me like this, right? It's just a trip, something that I'm not used to. However, bam, I make it back to my cell. And when I get to my cell, I remember one of my little young blood partners, one of my little young Dalmos, walking by like, Creep, don't entertain it. Don't entertain it, big bro. Don't do it, right? And I heard those words up until this lady tried to physically, run from where she was standing, came out of the protection of where she was standing, which she was standing with the other three police, calling me out for a fade and wanted to fight, putting her gloves on and all. Like, she was like, what's up? What you want to do? Come on. Right? And she making her way to me. Now, I have no other option but to protect myself. I'm not going to let nobody harm me, man or woman. So if you take yourself out of the place of a woman and you want to be a man and you come to do physical harm to me, then guess what's going to happen to you? And mind you, I don't put my hands on women at all. I don't touch them. Before I would ever allow myself to go there, you know what I'm saying? I'm going to walk away from it. Just like I tried to do in that situation. And she pursued it. She physically tried to rush me. Only thing that stopped that situation from going on, the other ones that were standing there, they grabbed her. One of them grabbed her. But they also became part of the problem because when she tried to make her way to me, they started trying to make their way to me as well. One of them grabbed her, but the other one was coming. So when the other one was coming, I'm like, man, what's happening? So when that happened, my brother Hog, who was already in the cell, came back out the cell and rushed straight to him. Now, it's a situation where, oh, this is serious. This is so serious to the point where they got their pepper spray out. One of the dude that was in the front of all of them, this dude stand probably a good 6'5", 6'6", a good 300 pounds, right? He's standing there. He got his pepper, a big old can of pepper spray, right? He's shaking it, and I tell you, hey, if you spray that, it's finna go up. I'm letting you know that now. And the dude in the gun tower got the Mini 14 pointed at us. So we in a no-win situation. However, when this standoff go down, one of them end up pushing a panic button. The panic button is alerting all the other COs on the yard that it's a serious situation that's finna happen and they need to make their way over to that area right then and there. So that's when when you hear that panic button go off, all the inmates are supposed to get down on the floor. You know what I'm saying? So when they come running over there, because they finna come running, you know what I'm saying? In the panic, in the rush, they finna make their way. They running, physically running, right? So when they come running, they want to know who is involved in what and who ain't. So we all supposed to get down when that button get pushed. You know what I'm saying? So when that happened, you know what I'm saying? I'm like, oh, y'all busters. You wanted to fight, but you pushed that. You pushed the button and y'all pulling out this pepper spray and all that. Y'all busters. You know what I'm saying? And then I realized that, I had some stuff that I needed to. So anyway, we make our way in the cell. I'm like, man, F that panic button, all that, right? End up making my way back in the cell and I lock my door. Now, it's probably like 20 of them. You know what I'm saying? That's in front of me in my brother's Hog's cell. You know what I'm saying? Now, they was tripping on him because he rushed out that cell to my aid. and was finna get cracking. See, this is what I be telling people, man. You know what I mean? I have a lot of say so in my car. You know what I'm saying? My homies respect and love me like I love and respect them. You know what I'm saying? And no, I'm not no shot caller of nothing. It's a love and respect thing. I will respond for any one of mine just like they did for me. Point blank, period. And they gonna go. They gonna go hard, just like I would for them. That day, I seen that. You know what I'm saying? So the purpose of me making this video and telling y'all about this, man, is I understand if you have a moment in lapse of judgment, your decision making in that moment in time, right then and there, is everything. And I came so close by choosing to entertain that situation with that female, right? I came so close to losing everything that I worked so hard for, including working towards my freedom. That would have definitely cost me my freedom, or the possibilities of me gaining my freedom, if that fat dude would have sprayed. It was that close. If he would have sprayed that stuff, it would have went up. I wouldn't have had no other choice. None of us wouldn't have had no other choice but to start beating the shit out these police until they start shooting that Mini 14 and pepper spray. And you know what I'm saying? I sat back over and over again after that incident took place, man, because I've been in that situation before and it went bad. So all those other times of that type of situation happening and going bad flash back in my head. I'm not the only one that got things to lose. My homies got stuff to lose. So I got to think not just for myself, but for them. If I'm not thinking for them, man, come on. I have to think for them. I don't want nobody sitting in nobody's prison for the rest of their life. It's bad enough they got 31 years out of me. 31 years, man. And here it is, you got these miserable ass police that come to work, you know what I'm saying, probably high off of whatever drug that they out there using and shit. They miserable in their life and they bring that shit to work with them. You feel me? So anyway, this situation happened, man. Their sergeant come. They trying to get me out the cell. You know what I'm saying? Eventually, after everything was cool on my behalf, bam, you know, they handcuffed me up. I allow that. Take me over to their program office. You know what I'm saying? Now, let me say this. All that lady's co-workers know that she is psycho. None of them like her. They know this. I'm not the only person that she got at like that sideways. You know what I'm saying? There has been numerous incidents with this one particular lady, man. You know what I mean? She has some type of hatred for men. The only ones that I've been seeing her get into it with like that is men of color. But again, I don't want to make this a race thing. It's an ignorance thing. You know what I'm saying? I always say chosen ignorance. Because my lapse of judgment by entertaining that is, you know, the way that she even approached that situation was 10 times as worse. Because you hold a professional, responsible position. Or you're supposed to act as a professional at all times. And she didn't. Which means she can lose her job for that. Now, something else y'all got to remember. There's cameras all over this prison, including out there in their day rooms and stuff. So that whole incident was recorded. So when they handcuffed me up and took me over to the program office, you know what I'm saying? The sergeant come in and he talked to me. He like, look, man, he say, I want to know from your perspective what happened. He like, I heard from my co-workers from their perspective, but I want to hear from your perspective. And I'm sitting there, right? And I laugh because I've been in this situation so many different times where it's funny. You know what I'm saying? And I tell him just like this. I said, man, listen, I expect you to take your co-workers' word over mine any day. I said, so I don't understand why it took for you to bring me over here to want to hear what I had to say about the situation. That offended him because he was like, well, I'm not a regular over here. So the people that I'm used to working with isn't over here. Although there is a couple sprinkled around, he said, you know what's crazy is you say that, but the ones that is here that I know personally that I've worked with, they know you. And they told me how you get down. And they all had good things to say about you. So that's why, I brought you over here out of that environment because that environment was extremely hostile. When that was going on, all the other people in the building, the blacks, they screaming out their cells like going crazy because they know that this lady was foul and out of pocket for what she did. You know what I'm saying? So anyway, so I tell him what happened. Bam, he like, okay, I'm finna go watch the videotape. You know what I'm saying? Once I go watch the videotape, then I'm gonna come back and holler at you, and we're gonna figure this thing out. So bam, I'm like, all right. So they in the next room, I can hear them. I can hear them, right? While they in there watching the tape, and I hear them saying she done got into it with the other with her female co-workers. You know what I'm saying? She done got into it with this person. We're tired of her and this and that and blah blah blah, right? There's two of them in there talking, the sergeant and like a regular CO. So bam, when they come back, the sergeant like, okay, I watched the tape, man. He said, but the only thing about that tape is there's no audio. All of a sudden, y'all got audio for everything else. When y'all trying to get us on something, y'all, that audio is going to be available. It's going to be there, as well as the video and everything else. Anything that they want to use to convict us on, everything is functioning correctly. But mysteriously, the audio is no longer there. They see the video though. So he's like, well, there's no audio, so we can't tell what was being said, but we do see that there was words exchanged back and forth between y'all. And then he said, but where her and the other ones that was standing with her messed up is they left that position where they was at and pursued a fight with you. That's where they messed up at. So I'm sitting there like, hey, I have nothing to lie about. It happened exactly how I told you. He's like, I know. He says, so look, I'm going to just chalk this up as just a bad morning. You're not going to get rolled up. We're not going to mess with you. Just going back and finish doing you, man. Like you be staying out the way. Nobody has nothing bad to say about you. Just going back and try to enjoy the rest of your morning, man. Don't let this situation affect you, right? I'm like, man, I can't believe this. He's telling me not to let this situation affect me, and I came that close to catching a staff assault, possibly an attempted 187, because it really would have went there. It wouldn't have been fist. We don't fight on level 4 general population yards, especially when it comes to dealing with the police. I'm not on no SNY, PC, 50-50 EOP yard. I'm on a level 4 mainline general population yard. We're not fist fighting with the police, bro. 9 times out of 10, one of us, me or one of my homies, would have got shot with that Mini 14. Imagine that. Imagine having that on your conscience. If it wasn't me that got shot, that's something I would have had to live with for the rest of my life for a situation that I didn't even have to entertain. Lapse of judgment. As a man, I have to do better. Point blank period, man. That close. So again, I want to send shots out to my brother Hog. I love you, bro. Shout out to my little homie Snipe. Love you too, nigga. And all the other blacks, Crips and Dow moves that's around me. Point blank period, man. Came that close to jeopardizing, the possibility of my freedom and everything else that I worked so hard to build, to gain. Jeopardize my brother and them, man, and my homies. Lapse of judgment. You feel me? But yeah, man, I wanted to bring that story to y'all, man, because prison is real. It get real, man. In the blink of an eye, man, you can go from having a normal day to somebody either getting unalived or, just a bad, serious situation, man. You know what I'm saying? And that's why I bring y'all these prison stories, man. You know what I'm saying? So y'all can see. You feel me? I try to detail these stories out to y'all, as deeply and profound as I can. You know what I'm saying? So y'all can sit in y'all living rooms, in y'all houses, on y'all phone, on y'all TVs, on y'all computers, whatever it is that y'all watching this on, you know what I'm saying? And y'all can get a first-hand account of how real this shit is. Life and death. Life and death, man. That's something that's always looming over your head too. With war comes death. Whether you warn with the police or, you know what I'm saying, whoever. That's prison. You feel me? That's prison, man. So I'm finna get up out of here, let y'all get back to the rest of y'all day, y'all night. You know what I'm saying? Whenever it is, y'all tune in to the Swang Low podcast show. You know what I'm saying? Hey, I appreciate you all for showing up as you always do, man. Shout out to everybody, the constant support of the Swang Low podcast show, man. I love all y'all, man. Appreciate all of y'all. Y'all make it worth coming, sitting at this round table, giving y'all these prison stories and whatever story I bring to y'all. Y'all make it worth that. You feel me? Like, comment, share, subscribe if you haven't already did it, man. And to those of y'all that joined the family, love and appreciate you all. Salute. My final message to all of y'all, man, from these prison stories, learn from it, respect it, but don't repeat none of this stuff that would ever jeopardize your freedom and have you in prison. On that note, I'm up out of here. Swang Low Podcast Show. Do Rock Creek. Much love. Triple Gang.